how do you block out the noise? Right? Because again, when you're making these decisions, people are just like, okay, well, D was just here, now he's gone, right? And why is he doing this when he could just maybe go back overseas and play ball, get his money back up and all these different things? But how do you block out the negative voices? And what are some tips that you could share with people listening? Because, man, the noises, even though they're coming from external things, if we are not aware of a method that helps us block it out, it can get to us and affect us. Because again, even as I'm asking this question now, a voice put a cap on where you were playing overseas. It said overseas, overseas, overseas. But now you're older. How did you shift that, right? Because now you're speaking with conviction. You're like, man, if you're not rocking with it, I'm gonna mess with you. What's that like? How do you block out the noise? It's hard, man. It's hard. How do you do that?
Nowadays, even it's probably 20 times harder when I was young, but I feel like what you said, one word you used, man, was awareness. And I feel like just having that awareness of like in quantum physics, man, it says, man, nothing exists until you focus on it. And so me having that awareness, and I know how powerful your focus is, and I know how powerful attention is. And so and not to say it's easy, man, but I having that awareness can push me back in the center when I get too far off to the left, to the right. Like if I need to focus, man, I have that awareness of like, man, all right, only thing that's gonna exist for the next couple of days is my creation. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to see nobody else. I don't need to hear nobody else. I don't need to be influenced by nothing else, unless it's gonna fall in line with my creation. You know what I'm saying? Because literally, scientifically, until you focus on something, it's waves and particles. So it doesn't even exist. And so understanding, man, that this is our creation, we are creating as we're consciousness creating, you know what I'm saying? As we go, we're always on the leading edge of creation. And so me understanding that, man, allows me to just play a different game. Like I know I don't have to be, I know I don't gotta have to turn on ESPN. I don't gotta fucking listen to music that's not moving me forward. I don't gotta worry about what somebody else is doing on Instagram. I don't gotta worry about what somebody's doing on TikTok. I don't gotta worry about what this person's doing or that person's doing, because that ain't got really nothing to do with me, man, and my creation. And so, and it don't exist until I focus on it. It don't exist in my world unless I'm focused on it. So man, trying to, man, and it's tough, man. It's tough because we get tired. Our spirit gets tired, man. We get emotional, like lazy. We get spiritually exhausted. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens, like, it's easy to look over to our left, look over to our right and kind of see what's going on, or get pulled into some low vibrational activities because you're just exhausted. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, man. It says it happens. But I feel like when it used to happen, I didn't know. Like, I'd be like, man, I'm just like spiraling downwards. You know what I'm saying? So now I have that awareness of like, all right, D, this is what's happening. Get some rest. Like, you know what I mean? Do your meditations, do your practices. Make sure you write down what you're grateful for. Make sure you write down your goals. Make sure every day that you focusing on your goals and you're moving forward. And like I did a podcast this morning, man, and 2 quotes that I said was like, how do you eat an elephant? Like right now I'm overwhelmed. So how do you eat an elephant? Like, right? One bite at a time. So you just gotta, man, one bite at a time. Don't try to eat the whole elephant, but you can eat a little bit. Another one I said was, go as far as you can see. And when you get there, you'll see further. And so that's one that I just like, man, when I'm overwhelmed, I got so much. I got the gym, I got the online, I got the products, I got all these people trying to come at me, and just so much going on. Like all I can do is go as far as I can see And when I get there, I'll see further. You know what I'm saying? So those are some things I use to like keep me in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, man, it's challenging out here, man. Because everybody want to get in your pockets. Everybody wants your energy. Everybody wants you for their dream. Everybody wants, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's like out here just like, give me. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be.
Man, it's funny you say that, man. Like last week was a busy week, man. Like, you know, I spoke twice in the same day. And then I had a whole bunch of like podcast stuff to do. I had a whole bunch of like business stuff, the book I'm working on, and just trying to balance everything. And to be quite honest, like, man, I was exhausted. Well, like I had to take a couple of days to just be like, yo, I can't even talk. Like I was done. But what I think is important about what you said, man, and that's something that I always tell everybody that I'm very strong on, is pouring into yourself, right? Like, I think too many times when you've heard the word self-care all the time. People say, oh, you got to self-care hard in this. But I think a lot of people, when they think about self-care, they think about material things. Oh, I have to go and get my nails done, or I have to go and buy this. And don't get me wrong, you can do all those things. That's beautiful. Those things are needed sometimes. But man, if you ain't taking care of like what's here, if you ain't taking care of what's in your heart, all that external stuff is just added on top of what's inside. If you don't know what's going on inside of you, man, whatever it is that you're doing, eventually, when your mind takes you out of it, physically, the same thing is going to happen. And so I think it's very important that you hit on that, bro, because journaling, meditation, I think are all the things that make people want to come and work with you, because they're not just getting be the trainer, bro. They know you can do your thing, but you also got to put on different hats, because the athletes sometimes need help too. They need guidance, right? They need all these different things, bro. So D, I want to ask you, man, before we get into Mr. Infinity side of things, man, how do you find balance, bro? Because again, everybody wants a little piece externally, but you also have kids that you got to tend to as well too. How do you navigate through balance and finding all of that? Because again, energy given, energy required, energy output. How do you find balance at this time in your life?
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good question, man. I feel like balance is a misnomer, man. I feel like if you want to do anything great, man, I don't think you can have balance. I feel like you got to go all in, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is the time, man. If you want to go, I don't feel like you can have a great relationship and build a business and like spend time with your kids and like it sounds good on the surface.
Yeah. But
I just feel like, man, sometimes in your life, man, you just got to go all in, like, you know what I'm saying? And but one thing, what I do is make sure that I'm tapped back in, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm. And my thing, and I'll make sure that I'm out my own way as much as I can. Like, you know what I'm saying? I make sure that I'm out my way as much as I can. Like, I know Derek cannot do. I mean, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have none of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have none of this. I wouldn't be Mr. Infinity. I wouldn't have the following I have. I wouldn't have nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? My sons, I wouldn't have. Yeah. So I know I'm not creating it. Like, I know it's a higher power working through me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so my only job, man, is to, and I'm not great at it, but my only job is to stay out of my way as much as I can. And so that's really it, man. So that, I mean, to answer your question, man, I feel like right now I gotta go hard. Like, I can't be like, oh, I want a family and kids in the house with a picket fence, and then I want to be able to travel the world, and then I want to build a business, and then I gotta like, all right, I gotta build right now. So there ain't no balance right now. Like, I'm building, like, you know what I'm saying? We in building mode. So yeah. So man, I'm not delusional. What's up?
No, you're right, bro. You're 100%. And I've always said that, man. I was like, man, on paper, everything always sounds good. Always sounds great. But I was like, at some point, you got to give something up in order to go up. And bro, it's just life. You know, like it just don't work like that. But man, I wanna get into one. I want to know, where does the name Mr. Infinity come from, and bro, what made you get into all these products? I know you had some injuries, but the way how you do things, man, and maybe this word has been said before, but I guess in like normal terms, it would be called unorthodox. Your style would be unorthodox, is what they would say. And then I want you to break down to me when you said, which I found very interesting, you said, "I don't like to be a trainer."
Yeah. I mean, I said that. I literally told myself a long time ago, I'll never be a trainer again. I'll never train. And so it just so happened that working with this company called ATG, and I believed in this guy so much that we created a brand that kind of blew up, you know. But to go back to your first question, Mr. Infinity came from, I was playing basketball one day. I think I was like 40 or 41, right? And me and my dude, I don't know, hopefully you follow him. I'm gonna send you his link after you get off here.
Yeah,
His name is Captain Planet.
I love it.
His name is and he like me. My name at the time with like Instagram stuff was like ATG Coach Derek, right? Yeah. And his name was just like I am Lance Kirsch, like, you know what I'm saying? And we was playing, man. We was playing like at this gym that me and the guys play at. And it was like in the summertime, all the NBA guys, all the overseas guys was playing. And I'm out there killing. I'm out there like trying to dunk on people and stuff like that. And so afterwards, we was walking on the beach. And he was like, "Man, how the fuck are you 41, bro?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man," he's like, "I got to come up with a name for you." And so he just texted me. He's like, "Man, Mr. Infinity." And I was like, "Man, you know what I'm saying?" I was like, "Man, that's kind of cocky a little bit." And so I was like, I don't know. And then my dude named Ben, knees over toes guy. I don't know if you follow him or not, but me and him, that's the dude that we was together. That's like my best friend. So I was like, "Man, what you think about Mr. Infinity?" He was like, "Dang." He was like, "D." He was like, "Man, I like it."
Boy, that's
like,
cold, dog. That's cold. Boy.
He was like, "Man, I like it." And then he said, then I still was like, "I don't know. Let me check. Let me see if it's available." Right. And then so what I did do is I put, instead of the I's, I put ones in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
MR1, you know what I'm saying? NF1. And so ended up being 3 I's, and then instead of I's, I put the ones in there. And I was like, you know what I mean? Like you said before, you don't believe in coincidences, right? And so that was available. Mr. Infinity with the ones. And so it's 111, right? 111.
Mm.
And so my first son's name is 1, and my second son's name is 11. And I was like, damn, that kind of fits, you know what I'm saying? And my verse growing up was Hebrews 11:1, man. Faith is the substance of things forward, the evidence of things not seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh man. And so I still wasn't gonna do it. And Ben, this white dude, he gave me a look like, man, you was a little bitch if you don't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so when he gave me that look, I was like, bang, that's my name from here on out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it was too many synchronicities, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I got the name. And then the products came along out of necessity, because being like the longevity guy or whatever, and trying to get these athletes to overcome knee injuries, hip pains, a lot of things, like the VMO board was a way for people to kind of take it over wherever they went overseas, back to the NBA. It was a compactable like VMO board that you could take anywhere with you to do things in your hotel room, to do things on the road, to squat properly. And there's so many things you can do on that board alone. And then the Nordic strap was an exercise that we do an exercise called the Nordic that really targets your hamstrings, your explosiveness, and like protects your knees.
Done a couple of those my training days.
Oh yeah, and it's big in the track and field, man. Yeah. It's big in the track and field, that exercise. And so, but it wasn't broadly known. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's another exercise we wanted to bring back into the forefront of consciousness. And so, but having a machine like that could be $1,200 to $1,500. So
Yeah.
I created a product that allows you to kind of get that same exercise done and get the same benefits anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that was one. Another one was like floss bands, where you floss your knees and allow oxygen and blood flow to kind of hit the joints, your elbows, your knees, your ankles. And so those are some products I felt like I needed, and I feel like anybody that wants to excel at their sport or just kind of maximize their health could use. So yeah, man. And I think that was your questions.
Yeah, D, real quick. Last couple questions before we get into the last fun five, man. When you've been able to obviously work with a bunch of different athletes, you know, basketball guys, football guys, a bunch of other athletes, but you being in the basketball space, you know exactly what they need because you've played it. If an athlete, doesn't matter what sport, if they're coming to you, I'm assuming that you're probably getting a lot of athletes who are battling injuries, probably people saying, bro, you're never going to be able to rehabilitate back to where you were. Basically, I don't want to use the word broken, but in the world, that's what probably some people will use. When they come to you, what is that plan look like? Because I remember my coach, when I turned pro, man, I had known him for quite some time before. Now, when I met him when I was 16, every time that I was coming back from like a stride or a sprint, he would say, I want you to have a question for me. I was like, bro, I don't have a question for you like that. Like, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? But he was trying to get me to think, to understand. So he wouldn't give me much feedback until I asked a question so he could tell me, this is what you should be looked for, right? Because so much of athletes getting to that elite level is the team around them. So when someone is coming to see Derek Williams, Mr. Infinity, what type of stuff does that look like, man? Like what, because I know you don't just train anybody, right? So what does that look like from your standpoint, from your process? And what can an athlete who may be listening to this, who may be going through their battles and maybe looking for that, what can they expect or something to look for?
Yeah, so I think you said it when you said that, like, people come to me, they don't look at me just like a trainer, you know. It's more of a mentorship. And as above, so below, man, and understanding like that the mind carves the body, you know. And so usually when you injured, or usually when you it's something off mentally a lot of times too, like, you know what I'm saying? So I usually obviously I address the physical, what the ailment is, how we doing, but I try to plant the seed of, you can heal anything. Your body always wants to be healthy. Your body always wants to reach the point of homeostasis. It's sometimes your belief is what's keeping you from being super healthy. You know what I'm saying? And so I give people that encouragement, like, man, like, I feel like you can be the healthiest version of yourself, bro. Like, I really see it in you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really, like, every day, like, I really plant those seeds. And because I truly believe it, man. Once you really get your mind right and your belief system right and your subconscious right, and you hang around the right people, you set your environment up, like, and you train it properly, like, you really set the environment up where your body can just relax. You know what I'm saying? And then it can start to heal. It can start to grow back cartilage. It can start to like really do what it needs to do to perform at its highest level. So, man, me and my athletes, man, we really go in, man. We do meditation. We do like cognitive therapy. We do cognitive exercises, man. We talk about like what ails us mentally. You know what I mean? We talk about like real life, like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's one aspect of it. And then the training aspect of it is making sure you're strong and you're flexible. Like, you don't want to just be strong. You want to be strong and flexible. You don't want to just be flexible. You want to be flexible and strong. Like, you know what I mean? And that's one thing that I harp on, because just being flexible without strength can cause injury, and just being strong without being flexible can cause injury. And so, and being flexible without being strong and strong without flexible, those are two, like, you gotta kind of merge those two. Like, you know what I mean? Like weakness and stiffness are like pain waiting to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And then the last point, those strength, flexibility, and then structural balance. We really focus on like being structurally balanced. So that's another big component that is big, man. I feel like that's and then knowing how to do those things too. How do I get flexible and strong? Like what kind of exercises that contribute to that? And I feel like that's where we hit the ATG, and now my disrupting fitness is like really kind of jumping in the marketplace and saying, man, you don't just have to be flexible, man. You don't just have to be strong, man. We got exercises and we got techniques and we got ways for you to like merge the two. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of where me and my athletes train, and they trust me because I got like real results, man. Like we got real results. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they trust me because I can do it too. Like I'm just like a lot of trainers out here, like just folding their arms up and like telling them, all right, 10, 9, you know what I'm saying? But I'm out there really in the trenches. We hooping, we playing ball, we working out, we going through. Like I'm doing it with you. I'm showing you. I'm showing you. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
man. That's why they trust you, bro. Because man, all the stuff I've been seeing, I'm like, man, my man hamstring on super elite. You know what I'm saying?
Free. That's the editing, bro. That's the editing.
But you know what's funny, man? What I really like what you said is one, you're in the trenches doing it with them. That's very important. But also, man, as a coach, trainer, mentor, whatever it is, it's a complete package, right? Like if you want the best in a person, yeah, you can physically say we're going to focus here on the physical work. But man, if you aren't mentally right, man, if you have some stress going on in your life, you could go there and yeah, you could physically be there, but you would just be going through the motions, right? And so I think that's beautifully said, man, how you incorporate mind, body, spirit into all of these things rather than just one component. But again, that's why they come to you for longevity, right? You're the longevity guy and you help people's careers, but it's far bigger than just the physical body coming in. Because all my coaches, man, why I went so hard for them was because there was depth to them. They cared about the complete package of Akeem and the progress of Akeem as the man. Absolutely, they want me to run fast. But it's just like, man, they want me to run fast and do well. You know, I think those are two different things.